Yeah, you've got that little middle band who are together. It's interesting that Ray Rain has managed on a harder tyre to break the RS already. That's a little bit concerning if you're Sick Fusion and those behind, because, well, I'm not sure quite how. I suppose safety car has a potential to ruin Ray Rain's race, but although that gap is closing now for Sick Fusion, he needs to try and get in the DRS and get one of the Ferrari. I think the Ferrari's very slow in Sector 2 again as well.
Yeah, it looks like that was Advocat. Yeah, Rain's doing a great job, but Sick Fusion has caught up, and you can see that DRS flap open on the rear there as the championship leader, Dante, seems to be trading blows with iMilk Menace here as they're going to go, leaves a bit of space there for the Alfa Romeo, and that compromised the line. He probably could have closed the door and gotten a better run there out of turn 2 or 3, depending on how you count these corners, but yeah, our championship leader all the way up into the podium positions now, fighting, trying to hold it, defending against iMilk Menace. It looks like iMilk Menace dropped the left rear tire on the gravel there, and that's going to cost him a little bit. But yeah, going back to the battle at the front here, Sick Fusion on the medium tires now starting to get those to work for him back into that DRS range. Like you mentioned earlier, Ray Rain was outside of that DRS as there's a Red Bull around. It's that Ipswich again. The man who started on the front row dropping the car there as well. As Sick Fusion puts in the fastest
There's been a lot of spins so far, but no safety cars, thankfully. Yeah, Sick Fusion, I don't know. The thing is, it's going to be so difficult. Even if he gets ahead, it's going to be so difficult to break the DRS. He's kind of hoping that. Well, there's still a few ways he can win the race. I mean, if he gets a safety car at the right time, he can definitely win. Or if Ray Rain gets a 3-second time penalty, for example, and he can just stay in the DRS, that's another way you can get back into contention. But these two are starting to break away, as I think a Haas has binned it in turn 1.
Yeah, it does look like it is. That's okay, because that means that they'll be able to join the fight with some other cars who have
there's a big
around
pack
too,
of
so.
other spinners, who are now going to have a great race.
we have a clear PlayStation Division 0 here battling for first, and PlayStation Div 1 through what is that, P3 to about P10, and then we have PlayStation Div 2 at the back there. No offense, I'm just kidding. I'm completely joking. But yeah, there's been lots of spins.
A lot softer approach this week than when you were berating Mako.
Yeah, well, it's only my what is it, sarcasm is only directed towards Mako. So since he's not here on the grid, there's no one to harass us. Looks like
be a change to the lead.
Well, I had to. I don't know who to cut. There's so many different gaps that are so close.
Send it. Oh, I don't know how they didn't make contact. Very twitchy there on the exit.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. It looked. I don't know if it's just my internet, it's some kind of lag, but it kind of looks like there might have been some flat spots on the rears of that Mercedes. But I don't know if that's actually a graphic that they would show as Furry retires from this session.
That's on track as well.
Yeah. Can we see? Oh. Yeah, we can't see.
The final corner.
There it is. Full safety car. Full safety car. Okay. Well, this.
And now, okay, so what do you do, really? I mean, do the hards go 30 laps?
I mean, yeah. You're the expert. I was going to ask you about strategy as well. He does go into the pits now, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on the tires. But I mean, looking at
the hards,
looking at Jeffergott as well with the softs. How long do the softs last here? Are those even an adequate racing time?
I don't like them. I don't really like them on any track, to be honest. But I don't know. Could the hards make it? I mean, if he just stays in, this is the thing. Like, Ray Rain will be so fast at the end if he waits and goes for the medium, but.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have to keep an eye on Sick Fusion. He's put himself back in the game, because I think if it was a straight fight, I don't think he would be able to beat Ray Rain in this race. I think you see the quali is 6/10. Normally, if you're 6/10 up in quali, there's a reason for it. So at least alternate strategy.
How about that Skillet fan as well onto the softs? I have watched zero racing in our league this weekend, but I just feel like softs in a middle stint is just not ideal, really, ever in this game.
I mean, I have a set save normally, but only for the final. If it's like a safety car with 5 laps to go or something, you whack the softs on. Otherwise, there was a race in, I think, Spain where Queasy put the softs on and they went off like on his out lap. They just went off. It's just ridiculous. The good news is, all those spinners, none of them got lapped.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
They were getting close. A couple of them did nearly. I was watching the track map, and they were spinning at turn 3 as Ray Rain was coming out towards turn 1. But thankfully, no one got lapped. Everyone's still technically in the race, well, apart from Furionics.
Yeah.
But they are still there. I wonder with Methawok whether it might have been a surface temperature thing, because he seemed to be spinning a lot. So whether maybe the tyres were still hot, that's quite easy to do. If you lose once the temperature goes high, it's much easier to lose them again.
Yeah, yep. And then you get your core temperatures up, and that just is even harder to try and cool them down. But yeah, this is a good sigh of relief for these guys at the back who weren't really in the fight, because I think it really was down to P10 that had pulled away, so they were just fighting for not even points, just positioned, I guess, at that rate. So now they're back bunched up, and they do have a chance to be fighting for points, which is really good to see. But yeah, these hard tires, I know that you're questioning whether or not they'd be able to last for 30 laps looking at Sick Fusion. I mean, we do have a couple laps behind the safety car, but without the safety car, there also was that talk of rain, wasn't there, too? So that might be a saving grace
talk of rain
for
an hour in instead of
well.
an hour. So I think we need another safety car to make an hour of the race, because 36 laps is about 1 minute 7 per lap, so you're talking 45 minutes. But if we had a VSC or another safety car, there's a chance. It depends how bad the rain is at the end. If it's torrential, if it's Div 2 PC from last week's rain where it just the heavens opened, then it could be chaos. But who knows? I don't know if these hards. I think 2.5% to 3% wear on the hards a lap. So 30 laps, you're looking at.
Yeah.
I mean, 3% as would be 90 would be too much, but with a bit of management.
Ooh, Ray Rain going very early before the second penultimate corner there.
He's going. I wonder if he's going to get slowed down by the game, though. No.
Oh, as we see McLaren of Bonhomie, or Dante, excuse me, our championship leader go off there, and that is huge, huge for Ray Rain. That is. Oh, as Advocat gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. Don't know if that's a game thing or not, but that seems strange. But man, Dante losing it there was a blessing for Ray Rain, as he's already almost 2 seconds ahead as these two McLarens are duking it out.
Advocat and Methawok are somehow 9 seconds off the pack with the safety car restart, so I don't know what's happened there, but there's definitely something gone on.
Yeah, we can take a look at them. Yeah. Ooh, that is a missing front end plate there on Advocat, and how is Methawok's front wing looking? Still intact. That thing is built like a tank this weekend, it seems.
I swear when me and Nemesis raced Aston, we never had such a sturdy front wing.
I gotta say, you said the rain was coming in an hour. That track looks very, very dark right now.
It does look a bit dark, doesn't it? But I had this yesterday. I kept asking Jeff down the pit straight, are you sure it's not going to rain? And he kept saying it's not raining. All Methawok spun, I think.
Yeah.
It does look a bit grim, doesn't it? It's very dark, but who knows? Like I say, I think if we have another safety car, I think we'll get rain at some stage. Whether we'll get enough that people will have to just tiptoe around, or whether they'll have to go onto the inters. I mean, if they have to go onto the inters, anyone can still win pretty much, because it just comes down to who gets it.
Oh my goodness, what is going on there? It looks like that's CB Shutdown had some kind of spin and ended up collecting, maybe not collecting, but having other cars react. And wow, yeah, that was quite interesting. A little bunch up there.
Turn 3, it does really kind of concertina up on the exit, and yeah, once you see a spinner in front of you, it's very easy to just copy that, which is not what you want.
Absolutely, as we see Sick Fusion here, one of the who was P2 after our race start, and we got under somewhat settled racing conditions, although it seemed like every other lap there was a spin. And we do have DRS still enabled, as those clouds and that track continues to get bleaker and bleaker by the moment. And that kind of makes you wonder, was those hard tires the right call? Ray Rain looks like there. And oh, as we ride on board with CB Shutdown as they spin around there in turn 1 this time.
No damage though, no. So it should be okay to carry it on. just pride that's been damaged there.
Just a hurt ego.
Stick Fusion's the only one who's actually pitted, is that right? Or are there a couple?
There were a couple others who came in as well. I believe that we're going to see one of these guys who came in for a front wing change as well. Was it Jeffergod? Or no, it was Advocat who is still sticking it out. Why am I not seeing a stop for Advocat as the Alfa Romeo of Thy Milk Menace goes around?
Yeah. A lot of spinners today. Oh my goodness. It is hard in this year's game as well to get the car back the right way once you've had a spin. It's very easy to just...
Advocat is still pushing on without that front wing end plate there. As that, Thy Milk Menace is just struggling with those tire temps that you mentioned. If you flash those tires, it's very difficult to get them cool down. It looks like Mefawak took a sympathy spin as well for Thy Milk Menace, and that is, wow. We get time penalties rolling in as well, so that's something else I want to talk to you about because I haven't had a chance to watch the races this week, as Thy Milk Menace continuing to struggle with those hot tires.
It's lad. Get them off. There we go.
He was listening into the advices of McLaren's battle as it looks like Ipswich again round.
There's a lot of spinners.
My
it looks like
goodness.
everyone's running really high top, like rear tire pressure or something.
There's raindrops. There's raindrops there. There is raindrops. Oh boy, this is looking spectacular. And I don't remember, I can't recall if we've ever actually had a wet race this season for the PlayStation drivers. And I believe we had a wet qualifying, I want to say. But
was a wet quality because
that was scary for YRG there.
YRG,
man,
that was very scary. Thank the Lord for ghosting. Is he gonna pit? He looked like he crossed the white line, so he should pit really now. But nope. Okay.
No, still
well, forget about that.
Okay. But
you saw drops. It looks grim, but I can't see any drops.
So the quality might not be coming through, but yeah, you can see it there on the halo coming across. Ooh, Sick Fusion struggling to get that power down. And
see now, the ones on the medium tires or the soft tires are probably going to prefer this, especially if they've got fresh soft, because it's so much easier to be on a softer compound in the wet, as long as it's not too warm. If you're on, there's definitely rain now, unless my laptop's broken.
No,
there's definitely rain.
So Skillet Fan with the fantastic call here. He pitted at the same time as Sick Fusion. You can see the absolute difference in pace that these guys have on that soft tire and hard tire. And it should be noted that the crossover point between the dry tires and intermediate tires is usually when the DRS becomes disabled. That tends to be when the inters have an advantage. So be looking for that at the top of the screen. But yeah, it's starting to rain a little bit, and it doesn't show any signs of letting up. Whether or not it's going to get hot. As it looks like Race Control came out saying that DRS was disabled. I guess we can watch the rear wing here and see if it opens, and it does not. So that is DRS disabled. So now would be the time.
That was what it said. I couldn't see it because
it flashed really quickly there. Yeah. It flashed real. Oh my word! As Skillet Fan's getting really close, and you can see these guys driving into the pits now. Yep, there are the inter tires, the pit crew ready for them. So take a look at the pace and see how that stacks up. But something that I wanted to get to, because I was talking about it earlier, was the time penalties. How big of a role did that play in the Xbox race yesterday?
It can be. Well, I think Lawrence won the race because he didn't have a time penalty and Cryptic did. They were within like a second of each other, and so it can be, especially if it's a late safety car or whatever, you can lose so many places just on time penalties, especially with how he stayed out.
Yeah, Ray Rain stayed out. Dante into the pits. Even Bonhomie, even with how close they are, they're opting for the double stack just to get off these tires.
I would that, to be honest.
Oh boy,
hard tires. This is going to be terrible. This is going to be hard to watch. He's got a whole lap now to go.
It looks like Skillet Fan is opting for the track position as well.
I mean, I kind of understand it a little bit more with the softs, but even then, this is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Oh, Mefawak
again, and
another wall. Oh goodness.
That front wing of the Aston needs to be tested.
If it's not broken
for
this
steroids
time,
or something.
It seriously needs testing.
They took that whole stiffness technical directive very seriously and applied it to the front wing as well.
Is that damage this time, or to Ray Rain? How much is he actually losing? He isn't. He could still come out. Maybe in the lead if he pit. Please pit now, though. Let's not. Let's not go do another lap in the wet on dry.
We'll go ahead and ride on board. It does look like he's setting up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be careful not to speed in the pit lane though as well on these because it's going to be really easy to.
Oh, crucially, it looks like his teammate is in the pit as well. But I think, okay, yes, that's the Alfa Romeo ahead of him, not his teammate. So his teammate's gone, so he was going to get held up for that. But yes, he is going to opt for those enters, and then Skillet Fan is coming in as well. But we'll ride on board with Dante to see where he comes out relative to Ray Rain, as he's going to be. How crucial is it for these enters to actually be the temperature-wise? Because we see people struggle on the dry tires coming out of the pits. But
well, I don't think it will be too bad, but Dante's going to take this, isn't he? I think he's, or is he just behind?
Ray Rain just held on, yeah, Dante.
Well, it shows you the gap he had, that he was able to do a lap on the wrong tyres and stay ahead.
Yeah, and it looks like we missed an overtake here from Sick Fusion as he's now splitting the two McLarens as they were bunched up, or yeah, they were.
Yeah, that might have been because of the double stack, I guess.
Oh, that's correct. Yep, you're probably right there.
So I think quite close. It's quite useful normally for strategy to be that close, but the only problem is when you have to, if you have a time where you have to pit, double stack is just unavoidable. I mean, it was better to double stack than do a lap in wet on dries, in my opinion. But this is going to make things. I mean, for those struggling with spins, this is going to make.
I was just thinking about that. Now that the rain's come out, we have not seen. I think we've seen one spin from Methawalk, and he was on the wrong tire, so that's excusable. But now that the rain's out, everybody's calmed down. There's no more spins. What's going on here?
It's just conditions people. It just makes you think differently when they think, oh, I really need to be careful here because it's wet. Whereas in the dry, you just feel like you can push. I feel like sometimes people forget they're on contact fuel as well, and they can't just beam it through high speed distance. We see a slightly interesting line there from Ipswich. That's a warning.
Yeah, we've seen people as
well.
There we go. Oh, Methawalk retired from the session there.
Yeah, that's on track.
Full safety car.
Yeah.
Full safety car.
Now,
wow.
Let's ask you, is it going to dry up soon? Is someone going to gamble on this place?
Yeah, and while we're doing that, we should also take because again, this is going to bunch everybody up. So let's take. Oh, I thought I clicked on Race Director. We could take a look and see what kind of warnings people have here, as it looks like Ray Rain
got no warnings.
Completely free. Dante sitting on 2 warnings.
Scary.
Sick
times.
Fusion on 2 warnings as well. Everybody carrying 2 warnings so far. We saw. Oh my, Jeffer with a couple.
That is a warning.
Oh my. So everybody with at least 2 warnings except for Ray Rain. As Ray Rain overtakes the safety car. No, Advocat overtook the safety car. Okay. Yeah, Ray Rain without any warning. So they are sitting extremely well for this race.
No, I mean, he won't know, but if Dante does get off, someone's got a penalty behind the safety car. That's unfortunate. No!
Ooh!
That didn't look good.
Yep. Who overshot? I thought I saw. Who is that? Is that Thigh Milk Menace?
It looked like a Mercedes. I thought it was a Mercedes. Went absolutely steaming into everyone.
Yeah.
But it seems to have somehow slowed it down.
Maybe that was some kind of lag or something.
I hope so.
Because that looked very scary. But Thigh Milk Menace not being let through, unlike Advocat. So this might be some fixing that we saw in Abu Dhabi that they've put into this game. That won Max Verstappen's championship, and it was some blatant letting the cars through.
It was a flagship pass, to be honest. Robbery.
But okay. Well then, a chance to settle down yet again. I haven't been monitoring the PlayStation chat.
I'm just having a look now. Meth Walker's apologised for his spin, which caused the safety car, which is fair enough, I guess. Let me see.
No hints on possibly the rain drying up or getting heavier as well. So he might be just on interconditions till the end, possibly. Which, I mean, no offense to the PlayStation guys, just it goes across all the boards that just steady enter conditions kind of dulls down the race and gets everybody in their own little groove here.
Yeah, no, what it's so hard to overtake in the wet that you have to be really, you know, a lot quicker, and it's just they're overtaking now on the safety car.
They are? Where? I missed this. Are we seeing
It
some
looked
more?
like a McLaren swapped with somebody under the safety car, but I think they've fixed it now.
Oh, PlayStation and their love for overtaking under safety car. Some
And
things just
Dino
never
Menace is
change.
going to have lovely warp tyres if he ever does catch the back of this pack.
It's going to be Advocat. Thigh Milk Menace is stuck in between the leaders here. So he's actually
You're right. No,
a
it's
lap
Advocat.
down.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, is he a lap down?
Oh, there's
that's-
that overtaking that you
There's the overtaking
mentioned earlier.
They're going wheel to wheel. One. It's the best racing we've had wet. It's on the safety car. What's so okay? It might be the game's telling them they have to place up or something.
That was very strange, as it looked like Bonhomie was slowing down again. Oh, just because they caught up to the back of the cars. Yeah, Advocat safety car looks like it's going to be out for yet another lap. So, yeah, Advocat will catch them by the end of this, but they will have warm tires at least.
Yeah, they'll be nice, and in fact, he can start backing off now, making sure he captures
Time
as they
it
go through
perfectly.
the third sector. Yeah, time it nicely and get have really good temperature. So what we need for this race really now is we need it to either go to track to dry or go to full wet. If either of those two happens, it's an absolute shambles for everyone.
Yeah, we might be lucky too and see some shambles on the restart, although again, those tend to be kind of dull, especially with a smaller grid. It probably won't happen, but we could be wrong. We might see something happen into turn 1 or turn 3, so as these guys are just lighting up their tires now, as Advocat has finally caught up to the back of them.
Everybody trying to outbrake each other in the wet. It's going to be into turn 3. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So Advocat is the last of the unlapped cars.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how this game handles lapped cars under safety car. If Thigh Milk Menace will be told to go now, or
I think it lets them buy. In the previous games, it didn't let you buy at all.
okay.
So I don't know. I mean, the safety car's in, so he's even if he was let buy.
Yeah, no chance.
But it only needs 2 DNFs ahead to get some points, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Mako asked specifically for a race where there are 14 DNFs out of 14. We're 2 of the way there. And now it's raining, so it could happen.
We could take a look at penalties there. Jeff Regard carrying 12 seconds worth of penalties. Taking one for all of PlayStation there, as we're waiting for Ray Rain to get back under green flag conditions in this rain.
Yeah, Ray Rain just trying to get as much heat before going.
Leaving it a lot later, which is going to make turn 1 very scary for these people here.
Here they go.
Oh boy. What
He's
do
got a
they
good
have
gap,
in store for us?
He's got a nice gap. It's turn 3 I'm more worried about than turn 1. Because the way they all press up.
Still warming up their tires there.
Here we go then. Is anyone going to try and move into turn 3?
I mean, this gap here between Skillet and Jeff Regod's very close. As we see YRG looking to make a move in the back there. The McLaren and Bonhomie. Is the switchback going to happen as the Alpine as well is looking to get into that fight?
If he can get the switch back, oh no, he's lost, not had great traction on the exit.
Coming downhill now into turn 4. Oh, from way far back there. Jeffer got an Ipswich. Whoo-wee. He almost made it work, but yeah, Ipswich able to hang on there. I bet they were really caught off guard by that, but able to hang on now as Skillet and Bonhomie are still going at it. So, man, they might have heard us talking smack about the rain doling these races down, and they're
that was nice. Yeah, that was very nice.
And it looks, oh yeah, it just has so much better exit speed than Bonhomie. You can see him just start to accelerate down that gap, already up to half a second. So that move was going to happen whether or not Bonhomme wanted it to. As Ipswich now, ooh, Dante picking up 3 seconds worth of time penalties, and YRG looking like they might have spun around there a little bit as they settle in between the two Alpines now.
Yeah, they could be 3 wide into. Oh no, not quite. Going to be enough speed. Oh, they're going to be close.
Oh, they Constantine it up there, that Williams. So far, nice job avoiding the shambles. And again, this wet weather, no yellow flags. I'm shocked compared to the amount of yellow flags we saw in the dry conditions. As Bonhomme somehow is now caught back up again to the back of Skillet there. Baby Skillet jumped all their ERS and didn't have anything left in the tank to be able to battle back against Ipswich and Bonhomme. As Ipswich joins this fight now in the Red Bull.
It's still raining.
It is indeed still raining. Yep, you can see the camera getting a little wet there for these guys. But yeah, it's still raining. And I gotta say, it does look like the track's getting a bit wetter as well, but not enough for wet tire conditions. I don't really see any standing water on the track as we cut back to these blue cars. Yeah, looks like that might be the case for the remaining 13 laps of this race. As Jeff God's now on 15 seconds worth of time penalties, possibly looking at a potential black flag and disqualification for all the penalties that they have racked up. I'm not sure exactly how many it is that you need to get, but currently sitting at 15 is, ooh, it looks like Jeff God is looking to still send it, even with all those penalties.
Alpine picture there. YRG got away as a result. YRG got the move done, and then the 2 Alpines just afterwards had a little bit of wheel banging.
As that gap again to Bonhomme, the Skillet is now back up, and so Bonhomme is now looking to defend against Ipswich from behind. And as a matter of fact, it looks like Skillet has caught up to the back of Sick Fusion there, and we should note too that Ray Rain and Dante are just gone. They're just gone now.
Yeah, they are. And Ray Rain was, I mean, he didn't have any warnings last time we checked in on him. He's just doing his own little thing at the moment.
Yeah, we know that Sick Fusion is on 2 warnings, I believe. Yeah, everybody had at least 2 warnings, except for Ray Rain. So that's going to be crucial for Sick Fusion to try and manage as Advocate. Ooh,
I think that's a yellow flag in a funny place as well. That's on the exit of the final corner, I think. It's just a yellow flag at the moment, though. He seems to have got it going.
Yep, they're back underway
yeah,
now.
Skillet Fan got the move done. Sick Fusion went wide at turn 1 and then lost the place to turn 3, I think. So it was a nice move from Skillet Fan.
Yeah, Sick Fusion. Ooh, it looked like he was setting up to send it from that far back, but thought better of it, and props to him. But yeah, I was going to say that that's really helped Dante out, our championship leader, as Thigh Milk Menace is letting cars through with his blue flags. But yeah, there's going to be a balancing act for Sick Fusion with their 2 seconds worth, or not, excuse me, their 2 warnings before their track limits penalty, trying to stay within that 3-second penalty range of Dante ahead to potentially get that P2 from the championship leader. But now it's going to be up to Skillet, as a matter of fact, as they're looking to close up that gap to Dante ahead of them and look to potentially boost themselves up 1 more position after penalties are applied. But we still have 11 laps to go. This rain doesn't show any sign of letting up, and I'm struggling to tell if I see any puddles there, as Advocate looks like they're spun around again. But yeah, struggling to tell if there's any kind of standing water. That would be when you'd look at using the wet tires, I'd imagine, for these guys. Or you just kind of wait and wait for somebody else to go and take the gamble onto the wets and then pit in. Yep.
Test dummy.
Exactly.
But yeah, it looks like Inter will be fine for now. For now, at least.
Which kind of makes me curious as to who has the fastest lap of this race, because we're not going to be able. Yeah, Sick Fusion is going to be having that fastest lap point as Advocate continues to just struggle back there. But yeah, no one's going to be improving that fastest lap time of 1:07.
Yeah, that point's pretty much, as long as we can finish the top 10, that point's pretty much sealed up now.
As that gap. Ray Rain ahead, still pushing, building that gap now to 4 seconds. But more crucially, Skillet has cut that lead that Dante had to him, now down to just 2 seconds. It was a little over 3 seconds once Skillet overtook Sick Fusion, but they're quickly closing that gap, and it makes you wonder if they might even get an on-track overtake to Dante ahead. Even with that penalty that Dante's carrying, they would, if the race finished as is now, they would inherit that P2. But yeah, it's looking good for Skillet. They seem to have a little bit more pace than that McLaren ahead.
Yeah, Dante will be hoping that Skillet is on 2 warnings and makes another mistake, and they have to race for it. Because at the moment, as you say, Skillet can just wait in that. As long as he stays in the 3-second window, that's it. That's P2.
And we see the Alpine and the Williams here battling it out. And it did look good for a moment that we were going to have some good racing, but yeah, it's just kind of calmed down a little bit now. And these cars seem to be, the way that these guys have their cars set up, it seems that some of them are able to catch up in one sector, but then lose it on, say, the straights between the final corner in turn 1 and turn 1 and turn 3. And they're faster in the middle sector. So yeah, it's starting to calm down just a little bit now. As you can see, YRG now pulling out ahead as iMilk Menace heads into the pits. And I wonder if they're going in to retire, if they need a wing change, or what the story is with iMilk Menace. But there were 14, now there's 12, and there's just 11 laps left in this race.
Yeah, was iMilk Menace already lapped? Are they going to get lapped again, I wonder, fairly soon?
Potentially,
Is
it looks
that,
like.
which Ferrari is
I think
that
that's
Advocat?
Yeah, that was Advocat. I was worried there too.
They're quite close to each other. I thought it might have been Ray Rain causing the yellow flag, but no, he didn't lose any time. So, yeah, Advocat is close to being lapped here by Ray Rain. It's only a couple of corners now, as I think somebody's lost it in the middle.
Ooh, that is an end plate that is missing on that Alpine there as well. As they come back onto the track. But yep, that is CB shutdown, missing an end plate. And of course, in these conditions, you just have to imagine that they're going to be going into the pits for a front wing change, as it would just be absolutely undrivable, that car, in these conditions, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and Advocat has pits, so...
And I was just about to say, Skillet Fan closed the gap to Dante very fast now and got the overtake done. I'm sorry we didn't catch it on stream, but man.
Is Dante going to resend it, or does he know that Skillet Fan maybe has too much pace today? Now the big question is, Skillet Fan was gaining on Dante. Can he gain on Ray Rain? I mean, it's a big gap, 6.5 seconds, but
yeah,
it'll be interesting if he can.
It looks like Ray Rain's just continuing to build that gap. I mean, it was 5 seconds before Dante was overtaken, and now it's all the way up to 6. So Ray Rain is just a rain master, which I guess makes sense having a name like that. You kind of have to be. Although now that I say it, that gap is closing down, so we might see a change for the lead of the race. Although there's not much time left, with only 8 laps left to go, and that rain does seem to be coming down a little bit harder than before, but I'm still not seeing any standing water.
So you're looking at what, 7 or 8 laps to go. So you're looking at 7 to 8 tenths a lap. But I reckon out of that lap alone, it took maybe 1.5 seconds. Because I swear the lead was 6.3.
Yeah. It was. You are correct. It absolutely was. Yeah.
So the question now is, can he keep pushing that gap down without getting a 3-second time penalty? Because obviously, if Ray Rain sees Skillet get a 3-second time penalty, it's going to be game over. As that gap does seem to now stretch back out again, I wonder if Ray Rain is just saving battery or something. But yeah, it's going to need to be 6 or 7 tenths a lap, every lap. And that's just a catch up. Then actually overtaking may not be particularly easy as a retirement on track here.
Ooh. Is that
and it's a full safety car, I think it
Advocat
is.
on the wets? Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Who's going to be the... Oh, Ray Rain just stopped on track? Oh, they probably got that 5-second or that gap bug, that safety car bug, yeah. But hopefully they can catch up and see what happened here. And hopefully Ooh, yeah, that's an interesting place to drop it.
So Advocat, for all their troubles, is on for points
But with the interesting tire choice of
of the
wets.
wets. And Dante has a drive-through penalty.
Ooh! Oh
Oh, that is going to put
no.
him right at the back. That's going to be no points for Dante because you can't serve that under a safety car. So he's going to have to wait. A Sick Fusion pits, I don't know why. A lot of people
Yeah, people
pitting.
are moving to the wets, it seems. It seems like people are thinking that wets are the call. And Bonhomme
Oh, and
Pickett.
Bonhomme
Oh
into the
no.
pit lane. He's done the Charles Leclerc.
Oh no. Oh, that's a huge bummer for the McLaren
So
driver there.
everyone's going to the wet. So now,
What does this mean for Ray Rain?
what Sick Fusion's gone on to a new set of inters, it looks like.
Yeah. With 6 laps left to go, this is going to be
So,
crucial. This is a huge gamble for those opting to stay out on the inters, for those going to the wets, because there's 6 laps left. You don't have any information as to which tires are faster because you can see Thigh Milk Menace and Advocat and AR21 were the only ones who got any kind of lap running, but those people weren't going to be able to see it. Those up front weren't going to be able to see the lap times tumble if they were indeed. So it's a huge gamble for these people.
Bonhomme, well, all of the guys who have gambled on the wets have all got time penalties. How many seconds has Bonhomme got? Did he speed in the pit lane? Has he got 5? He's got 8.
Oh, yeah.
So Dante's got a drive. So Dante's pretty much out of the running now. I mean, he's going to have to pit. Well, if he has to change for the wets, he's essentially going to have to pit twice because he has to put the wet tyres on, and then he might as well change and gamble on the wets now because he's going to have to pit in a minute to serve his drive-through. I hope he doesn't think that he's serving the drive-through now.
Oh, yeah,
only serve the drive-through in yellow and green flag conditions.
I would imagine that they're going for the wet tires. We'll see as the guys come out here. No, those are new inters. Oh, he must have been thinking that. Oh, no, excuse me. Those are new wets. Okay, so yeah, this was just a tire change. Oh, man. But yeah, where's
the wait for the safety car period to end and then do his drive-through? But I mean, he's going to be 20 seconds off the pack.
And with only 5 laps left to go, too. So
I say that, but it's come out in P7 somehow. The field spread is so big. It's come out in P7 and 41 seconds to P8.
It makes you wonder how long the safety car is going to wait for those guys at the back to catch up to this pack. If the safety car will actually wait all the way to I think it's hard coded for 2 laps of green flag running at the end, if I'm not mistaken, in this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't have an Abu Dhabi 21 where it's just the 1 lap. I think you have to have 2. So, although actually, last year's game you could definitely have 1 because I had one in Imola where it was just 1 lap at the very end. So maybe it can be 1, but I don't know whether that's the same in this game. So assuming the wet's the better tyre, Bonhomme's got an 8-second penalty. Ipswich has only got 3 seconds, I think. So in theory, Ipswich is in a very good place, but it depends how much better the wets are than the inters. If the inters are okay, then any of the top 4 can still win. But if the inters really aren't the tyre anymore, I'm very interested that have their GFs not told them to put the wets on?
It's hard to tell. Yeah, because we know that new Jeff is kind of bugged when it comes to
one of these GFs is
many things.
Agent.
Yeah, but because like you said, if that pace, I mean, the wets can be faster, but they have to be significantly faster in order for it to be worth it. And I'm not really seeing much standing water anywhere on the track, but yeah, because I mean, they still have, just because you have a faster tire, that doesn't mean squat if you can't overtake the guys ahead. So you need your tires to be a lot faster than those guys ahead on the inters.
And have a time penalty as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Everybody ahead doesn't have any time penalty, so that could be a reason why these guys opted to stay out too in the inters, knowing that they didn't carry any time penalties. And I gotta say, YRG is looking kind of nice if indeed these and the safety car is possibly going to stay out for another lap. But yeah, YRG starting from, let's take a look. Moving up 11 places along with Skillet Fan as well. Moving up 11 places.
Even if the inters are just okay tyres, Skillet Fan had really nice pace on the inters before. Was matching Ray Rain, it seems. So these two, in theory, are going to be quite even on pace. So Ray Rain's got a restart to do here, and if he gets it wrong, Skillet is going to be all over him. Who knows what the right tyre is? Jeff certainly doesn't know.
Yeah, we got
That's for sure. The safety car in this lap, I think.
Yes, it is. Yep, and I believe we'll have, what is that, 4 laps of dry running, 3 laps of dry running.
Yeah, we'll get four to go when they cross the line.
Assuming that nobody crashes, of course. But yeah, so to note, P1 through P4 on old intermediate tires. No, Sick Fusion opted for new intermediate tires, but P1 through P4 on the new tires. Ray Rain leaving it very, very late this time around, while everybody else opts for the wet tires. You can see Ray Rain goes, but it doesn't catch Skillet off guard at all, as they were able to react very quickly to them as well. And so we'll have to keep a look too for these wet
Ray Rain's
tires.
wide out of turn 1, really wide. But that might only just be a warning because he didn't have many warnings before, so I just wonder how good these inters are.
Yeah, we can see Ipswich getting a move. Oh! Oh no! I would imagine that means that the wets are significantly better than the inters if he extremely outbroke himself into the back of Sick Fusion there. Yeah, we can ride on board with Sick Fusion, looking to get a move done on YRG, but yeah, it looks like the wets are faster, but do they have enough time? Do they have enough laps left? As you can see, Bonhomi getting it a little whoo!
Oh, bit of wheel banging with Sick Fusion.
And Thy Milk Menace coming back as well, as they opted for the wet tires too.
Skillet's still only 7 tenths behind as well, as a yellow flag for Advocate, I think that is.
Yeah, oh, you can just see those wet runner tires just looking like they're chasing down those guys at the front, as Ipswich running very wide there and allowing Jeffergod to come through. No, excuse me, I'm getting confused with Dante heading into the pits to serve there. Oh, heartbreak for Dante picking up a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane, trying to serve their drive-through.
I think he might still get a point because he's not been lapped. So these other cars, he's still going to come out ahead of Thy Milk Menace and Advocate.
As Bonhomi runs off the track just a little bit. And YRG, are they going to go for that move? Okay, I went to the wrong driver apparently somehow. But YRG able to hang on there. So somehow, Sick Fusion lost position. YRG is just clinging on for dear life to this final podium position, and he does have too that lack of time penalty advantage to those behind him with only 3 laps left to go. But YRG and Skillet Fan and Ray Rain have pulled out a 4-second gap to these guys on those intermediate tires, as it looks like the clouds are starting to break a little bit ahead. And so we might have only gotten about like 1 lap's worth of proper wet tire running. And now these intermediate tires, as who runs extremely wide again there? It must have been Ipswich. As, they're still off track.
So, Ray Rain with only a half a second as they cross the line. Oh, it's going to be close. Look at this, Ray Rain's got a poor exit. He could lose the place here. He's going to use a lot of his battery. Interesting that Skillet didn't use any battery there to attack.
Looks like a Haas stopped on track there, AR21. But we won't get a safety car, even if they did DNF, because it looks like they're back and going now. But yeah, we have 2 laps left, so we're not going to get a safety car anymore, as Ray Rain pulls out a second. So Ray Rain must be running a very slippery aero package right now, because they were able to make up that time that they lost in that middle sector there, as these guys are continuing to battle it out for the final podium position. But remember, even that Alfa Romeo of Thy Milk Menace. Oh! As Bonhomi gets spun around, and that's a front wing missing from somebody. That's Ipswich missing the front wing there on the Red Bull. Oh, so that's going to be huge provisional standings. A big asterisk to the end of this as Skillet catches up to the back of Ray Rain here. Man, that was, a weird camera angle, but we saw something happen with those guys.
If Skillet gets a good exit out of turn 1 and actually uses the battery on the straight, it could be all kinds of trouble for Ray Rain here on the last lap of the race.
Oh, Ray Rain just gone.
Yeah, look at the straight line speed of Ray Rain. I mean,
it's absurd how fast.
Oh, Sick Fusion's going for a move on. He's lost.
Ipswich
what
not going into the
happened
pits, which I can't blame him because there's just one lap left. What's going on? Oh, there's so much action going up and down the
there?
field.
3 wide.
Oh,
Six
boy.
Fusion's going to steal the podium on the last lap, is he?
Woo-hoo.
I think so. I think he's got it. And I don't think he's one of the ones who was involved in that melee. Well,
I don't think so. Yeah. So I think they probably will be able to get away with it, as it looks like. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this, but we know that Skillet is going to be a little bit faster here in this middle sector. Is it going to be enough? No, it looks like Ray Rain has got that done. So let's cut back to. Well, I say that, and then Skillet goes and closes it a little bit more.
Keeps it clean out in this final corner. He should just hold on.
Oh, it's going to be so close. So close. Ray Rain gets it done, so we'll go ahead and cut back to this battle for P3. Final minute somehow getting ahead of those guys as YRG
might just lap. Oh, yeah, YRG's going to cross the line P4.
Oh, Sick Fusion drops it right at the end there. Oh, and Ipswich as well. Oh boy, yeah. So these standings are huge. As you can see, Ipswich just stuck in the middle of the track. So yeah, they're a huge asterisk to these standings. But I'd imagine the podium is probably for sure set. But we know that YRG, Ipswich, and Bonhomie were caught up in an incident on lap 35 there in that middle sector. Man, what an interesting race. Thank goodness for that safety car at the end to be able to bunch it up, and for the rain to start picking up a little bit as well to make things interesting. But man, that was quite an interesting race, to say the least, at the end there.
Yeah, it went in spells. It started interesting, flattened out a bit, and then got interesting again towards the end with the safety car and the rain. Dante still got P7, which, considering how much, I mean, that just summed the race up, doesn't it?
P5 too, somehow.
P5, yeah. I mean, Dante with the P7 with all those penalties, you probably look back at this and think it was a shocking race, but P7, its points could have been worse with a drive-through and the 5 seconds penalty coming to serve the drive-through. All kinds of mess going on. Well done to Ray Rain though. Another win. That celebration, get him off.
Oh no, you're not going to talk to my favorite rookie like that. Come on. It's a well-deserved win. I mean,
Nemesis throws those copies of the game out. Just get out.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the standings here and see what that does for Ray Rain. So Ray Rain will jump Mako, as Mako was out this time around. Ray Rain will be at 52. No, my math is terrible. 62 points, whereas Dante taking home a P7 will be, what is that? 1, 2, 4, 6. So 62 to 74 points. Yeah. So Ray Rain jumping up into P2. And if I'm not mistaken, is Mako gone again next week as well, or is it just Povey that's missing the 2 races?
Povey's definitely missing both, but I'm not sure about Mako as well. I'll have to see. I have to ask him next week. I think that he'll be here, but I'll have to check.
I'll go ahead and change this screen to... Oh, no, that's the wrong one. To last week's one.
Oh,
but, yeah.
US Grand Prix.
Yeah, of course. We're American biased over here. But I'm going to be smart and give my driver of the day first before asking you, but I have to give it to Ray Rain because they were dominant from qualifying to finish with a 6/10 gap in qualifying and just controlling the entire race. Even with, I mean, I'm not going to say that they're questionable ones because he won the race, but with their different than what I would have done strategy calls when it came to tires, they ended up winning it.
That was a niche call, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Sick Fusion, I think, just because the last lap dash to the podium kept it nice and clean. No track limit penalties as well, which is key.
Yeah.
But YRG, I think, is probably would have been my pick if it wasn't for that little scramble in the last couple of laps. I don't know whose fault that was, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I think
definitely.
Yeah, Sick Fusion drove very well. Yeah,
that's also definitely a good shout, and I can't even remember who got P2 now. Was it Skillet Fan? Yeah, Skillet Fan taking.
Skillet Fan also. I mean, he was up 11 places. Maybe
Yeah.
he's a shout.
That was a good.
The whole podium.
Yeah,
All of them were drivers.
Exactly. They all deserve driver of the day for their own reasons. So, yeah.
Yeah, Skillet Fan was very impressive. Just kind of ruthless catching Dante at one stage. And obviously Dante had his own problems with.
And even before that,
knows what.
third safety car was it? They were catching Ray Rain rapidly too. Once they got around and up into P2, they definitely had some very insane wet weather pace there.
It looked like they were a bit better set up for the wet, because you could see in the corners in the wet they were gaining so much, but in the straights, Ray Rain, it looked like he was running -5 at one point on that last lap. He was just so fast on the straights that there was no way to get by him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, thanks for joining me, LC, and for sticking around for while I tried to scramble and throw this together. But thankfully, we were able to catch at least the qualifying standings, and then commentate on the entirety of this PlayStation race. And I believe we have one more race left today. Is it Div 2? I believe.
Div 2
next.
starting in a couple of minutes, I think.
Yes, in 9 minutes. So we gotta hop off and let them take over. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Stick around for PC Division 2, and we will see you guys then and next week as well, I believe, where we go to Great Britain. Or do we? Yeah, we go to Silverstone.
Silverstone.
So
with the Mandem.
with the Mandem and Galdems and all the birds and pubs and biscuits and tea. So we'll see you guys next week.